Well, hey there, parents. Todd Frazier here, principal at Ratton Elementary. Last time I talked about the importance of structure and setting limits, and I focused more on the structure and routine piece. This time I want to talk a little bit more about setting limits. Limits are good. Limits are necessary for kiddos. Otherwise, if they're given kind of free reign on certain things, it can negatively impact their well-being. I know, when I think about limits, we think about limits to toys, video games, screen time is a big one. And so, it's one of those things where as a parent, it's super easy once they've gotten onto a certain thing to let them just finish things out or to let those limits kind of move. And then when you've originally said you can watch a show, it becomes 3 shows because you've kept the kids out of your hair for a little bit and been able to get some things done. I've done that personally. My wife and I both have done that with our own kiddos because sometimes it's just that easy. And it's okay sometimes. What you want to make sure is that it's not becoming an all the time thing. So some of my suggestions when it comes to video games, screen time, television watching, things like that, is typically we try to set in my household 30 minutes to an hour. Really, when it comes to video games, we have essentially eliminated that from our household because my boys just couldn't handle that. We found that it became a point of contention. So that may be something too that you look at if you've got siblings and they're always fighting over who gets to play first. That might be a time to just go ahead and eliminate the video games whatsoever. But if you still have them, and again, it's not a bad thing. I enjoy them myself, but I know that I have to set limits for myself as well when it comes time for video games. So I would say typically during the weekday at school, if you can keep it to 0, that's great, but 30 minutes or less is ideal. For the weekends, an hour or 2 is okay, because again, it's less structured time on the weekends. When it comes to screens or television watching, again, anywhere between 30 minutes and 2 hours is typically a good point to go from. During the school week, I would focus more on that 30-minute time frame. They can watch a show per day. And then on the weekends, you can open that up a little bit more. Again, too, you might have guests over, you might have some kind of event going on. And if they say, can I play for just a little bit longer? It's okay to say yes, sometimes. Be mindful if you wind up saying yes a lot, because then what you'll find out is that your child will start to push those limits further and further out until, like I said, the next thing you know, 1 show becomes 4, 30 minutes of screen time becomes 3 hours, and it's real easy to slip into that. But if you set in mind and write it down, limits that you want to give your kiddos to different things like screen time, TV, video games, whatnot, you will stick to them more likely, and then you feel confident when you have to flex that you're not turning into a flexing all the time thing. So hope you found this video helpful. Hope you have a great one.